Hey everybody! My name's Adam.
I'm Will.
And I'm Sam, and we are
Working
We are still doing Attack on Titan, you guys. Can you believe it? It's still 2021 and we're still doing Attack on Titan. Still Season 1, Episode 19. We just watched the whole gang, the whole squad, go into the forest of huge trees. Do they call it? Forest of huge trees?
Giant trees.
Giant trees.
Redwoods
2.0. Yeah. If you guys like what you're watching currently in this situation, in that chair that you're sitting in right now, that you're sitting in,
or standing,
or sitting on that stool,
swimming,
or lying down in your bed,
or pooping,
whatever you're doing on your device watching our reactions, make sure you leave a like. That really helps us out when you guys do that. Make sure you leave a comment. We enjoy talking with you guys, coming up with your theories and our theories.
This is not a market substitute. If you enjoy Attack on Titan, make sure to go watch it on any platform that it is available on, and then come back and watch our reactions right here. We're gonna get started. Punch it!
Bah!
Bite! Bite! 57th Exterior Scouting Mission Part 3.
Oh, is it to disorient? I love Levi. He's so disrespectful.
He's blunt too.
Down to our last breath.
Soldiers, remember.
I know what I'm saying. They're defending him.
Till that thing catches up to you, Sonny.
How are horses running faster than us?
It should be.
Oh my god. Listen, you idiot.
Dang!
Dude, just... You gotta... It sucks. You gotta sacrifice him, though. Oh! I love him.
Eyes forward, Aaron.
Just shut up. Ugh. Still wet behind the ears, little young lad. No.
No!
Oh my god. Stop
This is
it.
what I was worried about!
Yep.
Oh no, he's gonna be a rebel! Don't do it.
Oh no.
No,
Right?
stop!
Oh gosh. They're gonna kill you, dude!
Dude, he just...
Ah! Oh gosh. But I will murder you.
Do it.
He's gonna murder you though.
Oh my gosh.
Yikes.
Yeah. I agree with this this theory.
Oh no.
Choose whichever you'll regret the least? Dude.
Whew.
He talked some sense into him. I'm thankful for that. Dude, like this.
That's so creepy.
I appreciate her for...
Like, I do trust them. Just be this floppy thing.
It creeps me out.
She's not with them, is she?
I didn't see her go with them. Look at her! She's like, yes!
Oh, this is fun. Gosh, what happens if you're underground?
Just do it.
Yeah. Well, how do we know that's a sure-proof plan?
What the fuck?
Like, it was instinct.
Ew.
He's trying.
What? So does it only work when he like actually is in danger?
Yikes.
You're useless. He did it fine earlier.
Is it like a mental state?
Maybe.
But it just doesn't make sense why he went to his hand, though. Oh gosh, oh gosh. What if it activates by accident? Gosh, guys. Yeah, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Did he shrink or something?
No, he only turned into like partial of the skull.
Oh my god.
Or partial of the body. Dude, they were ready to kill him. Woo! This is wild.
My biggest concern is brought to fruition. I hate this.
I cannot stand her. Like, but I love her.
She's awesome.
No, I love her, but I hate how she is.
Yeah.
She's so excited about this.
You think he just randomly turned into half a Titan? Yeah, these guys are like real killers.
He's stressing me out!
I know. Will you guys please be quiet? Please! Ew, I hate. That's so gross.
Yeah, you don't know if it's gonna slap you. What happens if he keeps the hand in? Can he operate it?
He was holding the spoon.
Did the spoon shrink?
No, that was the giant hand holding the spoon because he reached for it.
Oh.
So what triggered it? Like he just reached and it was like, ow, that hurt, and then he grabbed the metal,
You think
grabbed
it
the
was-
spoon, and it transformed.
You don't think it was because it was metal or something? 100%.
I get that.
血も涙も失ったわけでもないお前に刃を向けることに何も感じないってわけにはいかんだろうリヴァイ兵長今回巨人化できなかった理由はそこにあるのか
Why? What? How could that
巨
explain
人を
it?
殺
Killing
す
Titans?
砲弾を防ぐ岩を持ち上げるいずれの状況も巨人化する前に明確な目的
Okay. Some type of like determination to do something.
お前が意図的に許可を破ったわけではない
No dick,
Wow,
dude.
thanks, Kazuya. You're useless.
Alright, we trust him now. We're
So,
sorry.
did he not have determination? Oh,
What?
boy, what are you doing?
お前よくこんなの噛み切れるな
What?
俺たちが判断を間違えたそのささやかな代償だなんだ
Oh, what a good squad.
お前を抑えるのが俺たちの仕事だそれ自体は間違ってねえんだからな
True.
調子に乗んなよマキ
私たちはあなたを頼るし私たちを頼ってほしい
Sounds like Poldark.
I mean, she's kind of waifu. You're right. It does sound
I
like
was gonna say that
Poldark.
too.
Yeah.
私たちを信じて
Aw.
They still have the scar.
Aw, good flashback.
Oh. Ah!
God.
Oh no!
Still horrible.
Just don't forget those people, Aaron.
Oh my
Oh boy!
The low charge.
Like-
She's booking
It's
ass!
like the armored Titan when he does the
Like
super
there's a
sprint.
fire on her ass.
前を見続けている
Hey, he has not turned around once, not even to talk to them. Trust your comrades.
信じてくれて
Dear
るのに
Lord.
Oh! Fire him. Fire the shots. What?
Oh gosh. What is it?
He's so epic.
Erwin! Oh! Yes!
He's got
Nice.
him. They're not going to stick around to watch it?
Goodness, no, just keep going.
What are they going to do to it?
Holy moly.
How are they going to take that one?
これが調査兵団の力だなめてんじゃねえぞこれバカ
They were shitting their pants.
Yeah, I know. Now do you see? We're so epic.
彼らのおかげでこいつのうなじの中にいるやつと
Yes! Yes, please!
小便漏らしてねえといけない
Wetting themselves at sea.
Oh, yes!
And that's it.
I know.
Dude, that was good.
Oh gosh, it's getting really good now.
You see how, like, she was blocking her nape still?
Oh,
Shit, her-
what a punk, little coward! Who are you?
Weakling. What if they just cut open it as Annie in there? Like, be like, what?
I don't know. I don't
It
know if I'd
wouldn't
be
be.
surprised. I feel like that's. I don't know what else. I don't know who it would be.
That was a great, like, build-up and a well-placed flashback that most
Yes.
shows are horrible at doing.
Yes. That is how you do a real flashback.
Yeah.
Not this anime garbage where they always remind you of the stuff you just saw the episode before.
Yeah.
That is a good
Oh,
flashback.
just wait till he watches Naruto.
That shows
Something happens and they repeat the next episode. What just happened?
for at least 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I just had to say this. Sorry, anime fans. The worst episodes in anime are when it's the like the episode 1 of the new season and it's just a full recap of all the last season.
Yeah.
You waited a year for that,
Yeah.
and then you have to wait a week until you get actual new content. It's the worst.
Yeah.
These are the episodes that really make me cherish more than anything because they literally address the things I'm most concerned about that I don't think the shows will normally care to talk about.
Yeah.
Our whole discussion piece last episode was everything they just covered for this episode about my like fear of
Aaron just going AWOL.
no like just trusting Levi
And the gang.
and how hard it can be because they literally spend a whole episode of what it will really take for Aaron to have to trust somebody like Levi.
Yeah. I'm glad that we have addressed the fact that, like, Aaron is a psychopath. Like, he is, like, an animal that will just, like...
He's gonna slaughter every single Titan in his bath.
Yeah, like...
He's a psychopath.
Like,
When I see somebody with this face, I don't think they're a psychopath.
You scared me. He's unhinged, and, like, you kind of can't really... Like, if he chooses to do something, then you can't really... Well, you're not
Rely
going to
on him.
determine or rely on, like, what he'll actually do.
Yeah.
So it's cool. It was a great way to tie in for the flashback that he can trust his comrades, because they didn't trust him at first, but, you know, they proved to him, just like he had to prove to them, that he's not, like, an enemy of humanity. One of the cool things that, like, we kind of got through in this episode is that Aaron is not on command with, or not fully on command with, like, turning into the Titan. So he has to have some type of goal in mind, or something like that he is trying to reach for or attain or do. And that it can't be broad, like, I want to become greatest Titan Slayer. Like, he has to have something specific that he's going to do.
Yeah.
Like, reaching for the spoon, or stopping the cannonball, or I'm going to go pick up that boulder. I don't know
Yeah.
why that is.
It's such a weird trigger. 'Cause
It's a
otherwise-
weird condition that has to be met before he can turn into the Titan.
And that's what I was gonna say. I was like, I don't know why him wanting to become the Titan wasn't a good enough like initiation
Yeah.
in general.
It's weird too because he has like he already is a strong-willed character. Like, it's almost like he wills himself into doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, he can will himself to survive or do whatever, and that's kind of like what his whole, like, being a Titan, really, like, him dying and saying, I'm not gonna die here, and just turning into the Titan, like, that was just him, like, willing himself to be there. So that's why I don't really understand
Why
like-
well instance is any different.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point to bring up. What was his goal in mind when he died and he was in the Titan's stomach? I'm just gonna get out the stomach?
I'm not gonna give up today. Boom, Titan.
Yeah, but it's so broad. I just don't understand why then I want to practice being Titan can't just be like the goal in mind unless it's not something that's like physically attainable. Like getting out of that Titan stomach is physically attainable. I don't know. That's a weird condition to be picked.
Maybe it's because there wasn't like a dire situation, so the willpower wasn't as strong. Like it was more like, all right, there's an experiment. I need a transformative Titan, where everything else was kind of like a pressing matter.
Why would
I just don't know the spoon?
Why would the spoon
I don't know
be
about the spoon thing then.
A dire matter?
It's just really, it's a weird choice to go with, and I feel like I'm going to need other examples going forward to make me really understand what they're going for, because I'm not following it.
I feel like this might be English translation to the Japanese. What do they say in the English version? Do they just say it's the same thing, like he needs to attain a goal? Okay, so maybe it's not translation error.
I thought it was crazy that the spoon was not damaged.
Yeah,
I didn't remember that, and I like how Hanji deciphered that there's a goal in Aaron's head when he's going into Titan mode.
Yeah,
it still doesn't explain why he randomly transformed.
Yeah. It's just a little absurd, but it's okay. I can forgive it because the episode in and of itself was a good episode.
Yeah,
you would think like Hanji touched Aaron's arm. And she was like, "That is hot! That is really hot!" And
so
the spoon didn't melt. It wasn't crushed by him grabbing it.
I don't really understand what the significance of that is supposed to be.
So she went to touch the arm, and it's burnt. It burnt her, and
the metal didn't.
But the metal
didn't
melt, and it wasn't bent by a Titan's hand gripping it.
So
that's the thing. So I mean, it's weird the fact that like I don't get how his hand, because she never touches the hand, she just touches the arm, and the arm is hot. So is she trying to insinuate that the hand is not hot, or that when Aaron's controlling it and his mind is like, hey, I want to pick up the spoon to eat and use, that it's not going to like damage it, but if you're like an outside force just like going to touch it, it's like the skin is defending itself in some way. Why is she drooling at the mouth to touch it? That's,
at that point, did he already...
no, he was still attached. Okay. He didn't release his arm until after the fact. Remember, because then she runs back up and it's like, no, you did it too fast.
And then she notices it's holding the spoon.
Yes, and then she noticed it was holding the spoon.
Yeah, I would have been just like the other guys, completely in defense and worried. Because in my mind, it's like, if you don't know if Aaron's still like mentally linked to the Titan yet and his hand's in there, what if there's nothing to say that if he lifts his hand, the Titan hand won't lift up and try to slap one of them, you know?
I really loved when Petra was like, Levi, sir, I need you to move away from him. He is dangerous.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's clear, like, they still, and that's at the early stage where they don't know if he actually is a good guy or a bad guy or not, or like what his
permission to transform,
what his control is over it.
Yeah.
The part I actually liked the most of the episode was the little moment where Levi is talking to him afterwards, and he's like, "Yeah, don't think of them as cold and heartless just because they wanted to kill you on the spot."
Well, it's because they've had to deal with like life-changing, unpredictable life-changing scenarios where they can't wait around to act. They have to just act.
And it's nearly impossible. It's exactly what I was saying like, several episodes, like way in the beginning of the show, is like they're dealing with stuff that's just unpredictable. It's why I initially said I don't know why Aaron's Titan is any more special than the abnormal initially, because I was like, because every day it seems like these guys are just dealing with a new thing that they just can never predict. Like, now we got a spider crawling abnormal. Oh, now we got a female Titan abnormal, or whatever. You want to classify them as human-clad now, but...
I think my favorite moment of the episode was when it had, like, the white drop background and Levi's just giving the speech of, like, you gotta choose what you want to do. You're, like, he's not controllable. Like, you can't control him. He's a freak. And you gotta choose what you want to do. You want to trust us or fight on your own? Choose whatever you're not going to regret. Like, that was just, like, a good, like, speech moment.
I do love that Levi ended up addressing the one thing I was concerned about with Aaron is, like...
Unhinged.
Aaron's completely a maniac, you know? He's gonna be
Kurt Russell.
What?
Starring Kurt Russell.
Aaron's the type that's just... And that's also kind of fun to have that as the trait of the technical main character right now. I don't know if Aaron's going to be the main character, like, in season 2 or 3, but, like, for that to be a trait of a main hero is... it's fascinating. Because Levi... not that Levi's personality matches up more like a protagonist of a story, but like Eren seems like he's I don't know, he's so radical and a bit like like I do worry about that because he is a bit psychotic. As we've seen, he murdered somebody as a child. You know, it was self-defense, but I mean, it's still like a really crazy thing for a kid to do. Yeah, he has the really kind of
I want to murder all Titans.
Yeah, which the idea isn't a bad idea, but it's also kind of a scary concept that he's a little bit psycho.
There's not a single human being that we've met in the show. Not even Levi's like,
I'm just here doing my thing.
Levi's like, I will kill them all on my own, thank you.
He's just
Eren's like, I want to kill everything. Like, there's a little bit of a difference. There's no one that we've seen like him.
For my mama!
Yeah, and I don't know why, but it makes me like actually curious, like because they've been letting us see Levi a lot, because Mikasa also is a contender for being the protagonist. Like I wonder, like is our current protagonist going to be an antagonist at some point? Like could Eren be a bad guy at some point?
Yeah.
Not that I want that to happen, but it just makes me curious.
Yeah. Does he let the Titan in him take over?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes a good story can have the main character end up being the main antagonist of the story too, so who knows? Who knows?
So is that what we think happened when he went for the spoon? Like in Eren's head, he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go pick up the spoon," but then the Titan was like, "No, I'll get it for you. I'll get it."
I don't know, because it just doesn't seem like I feel like the Titan is more like, it's not like an actual mind or mindset. It's more of like a nature of being, like almost like you're reverting back to like a primal animal. You know what I mean?
And how would you explain the attack on Mikasa?
Again with this?
No, I'm just saying, because like if that can't be primal to just want to kill somebody, you know? I mean, I don't know.
The only thing about that is it's always only Mikasa, and that's the only time he's ever attacked a human. I mean, some animals do get territorial. If you're up in its business, it's gonna fucking swing at you. You know what I mean?
And also, like somebody did leave a comment about that Eren transformed 3 times in one day. That was the other thing.
Yeah, so I mean, he could have just been tired and I mean, like part of the thing. Okay, now that we know, or now that we assume, and they clearly assume that there's a human inside that Titan, dude, I'm so excited for when we get to see if they can actually pull that fucker out of that stupid female Titan. But anyways, if the Colossal Titan,
even the armored or the Colossal.
Okay, yes, I do care about that, but the Colossal Titan, Eren gets tired from doing his thing, so maybe that's another reason. We already talked about that, but the energy buildup to make the Colossal Titan work, you know what I mean? Like, it might take so long because it takes so much out of them.
Yeah, and there's 3 people inside?
Yeah, 3 people, 5 people, maybe 1,000 human souls. I don't know, it's a mecha. But it
could be a whole operation, people in the stomach or something operating all the gears.
Yeah, I mean, whatever.
The neural handshake.
I don't care, but regardless, is that they're going, it takes a while for it to build up energy. So that could be another thing of the more you use it and the less you can control it. There's some, I don't know what
it's just weird.
There's something like that. I don't know what superhero thing it is, but it's the more you use this power, the more you can't control it, and it controls you.
We've had instances where we see Eren inside the Titan, and he's himself.
Yes.
There's where he put his arm up, blocked it, and he's like, "Oh, what is this?" And he broke out. But then I can kind of say that we have, because when Eren was carrying the boulder, he was like, "Oh, there's Mikasa and Armin."
Yeah, there's my friends. There's my friends. I have to do this thing. Yeah. That's why I'm saying that's why it's so weird to me, because
it's weird to me too. It makes no sense.
That's worrisome because you're farther in the show, which means if they haven't answered in season 3, I'm really gonna be upset.
He's a psychopath.
Yeah, but the show's not over yet, so there's still time. All right, Erwin's plan was great.
That was
I'm glad it worked out.
Oh, yeah, just kidding. The fact that was how they planned to... I don't know how they set up a little trap for that thing ahead of time. Yeah. I mean, unless that's what they were doing when they were carrying the wagons, and Erwin and all of them just were like, okay, set it up quick before the big thing gets here. That was awesome. But
you wanted to talk about the trees at the beginning of the episode.
Oh, thank you for the reminder.
Yeah.
Okay. This is just me. This is me just trying to understand anime when it doesn't make sense, but... Now that we know this is on Earth, how the heck are there trees like that on Earth? mutation? Like, are we dealing with, like, Planet of the Apes? Like, some terrible mutation happened that
They're living things.
Because that's not. We don't have trees that big. I mean, those are big freaking trees.
We don't have 15-meter tall monster things.
Yeah. But I can at least rationalize that maybe it's from an asteroid that came and it's symbiotic and it's something that's unearthly. Like, as of right now, mentally, I just place Titans as something that's not a part of standard Earth rules that we'll have to learn about, either through genetic mutation or something that humans messed up and made, or came from completely, like, we don't know. Maybe they have been in the Earth and they've, every 1,000 years they burst out, you know, I don't know. But I'm saying...
This is also a world where they built 3 giant walls in 100 years.
But that can still be, like, I can still find a way to rationalize that if, like, maybe the Titans helped build it, or, like...
While Titans were hunting them.
There's easier explanations for that than the trees being... huge. Like, we've never had trees like that. Like, unless
the second I saw it and you were like that, I was on the same boat. I was like, those are huge.
Like, even redwood, they're
not that big.
Well, I'm saying extremely old trees like the redwood trees that are huge and have been able to grow over generations and generations. I mean, they're still not that big compared to, like, these ones. And, like, we don't technically know how far ahead in the future we are. Mm-hmm. I'll ask you that question in a second too. But if we're going with the idea that we're so far in the future, like, how far in the future ahead, it still doesn't explain the tree size. Not that it matters. I'm sure no one cares about this conversation. But I'm just like, what if it's the complete opposite? And this is kind of like the second Godzilla, where there was a whole civilization before what we know today. Like, this is like thousands and thousands of years before what's currently happening. Like the first types of people.
Yeah.
And then this all goes down, and what we are today is what happens after.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of that's what I was thinking. If this is like the world as prior to actual written history, like if it goes really bad, like apocalyptic type of deal, and then
Mikasa, everything, Eren, or Adam and Eve.
Yeah, and then the only ones to recreate all of humanity.
Yeah.
No. So.
Assassin's Creed stuff.
That's exactly what I was thinking, honestly.
Yeah, I'm really interested then, because I really want those kind of answers. And I do think the show, because it's anime, they'll probably find a way to actually explain the things that I feel like standard TV wouldn't go in depth with, because it would be too much CGI or too hard of an explanation for viewers. I don't know.
Do you think that Erwin and Levi knew that there were humans inside these Titans, or do you think they made that realization when they found out about Eren? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I mean,
I feel like they might have known. I don't know. I just...
Because they're like, well, now we finally get to... Or like, they said something like, now we'll get to see, or now we'll finally get to see who's underneath, or cut out whoever's underneath that neck. And it's like... So I'm like, I wonder if they always knew that, or that was something they theorized, and then the fact that Eren just, like, appeared was just like, oh, this is perfect. Like, that's gotta be it. Because it's like...
Yeah, so then that means those two have had to have seen the female Titan before.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like, I'm fully convinced that once Eren became a thing, and that's kind of what I was touching on last episode, it's like, what if Levi and Erwin have already had the talks me and Will have created about our own conspiracies, and Eren coming into the fold is the final
puzzle piece.
Not even that, but like the thing that can finally make their ideas come into fruition by testing out tests that they've wanted to conduct. And maybe this is like, as soon as Eren came into the picture, they're like, oh, okay, the woman Titan who's been terrorizing us, we can finally like capture and like get answers out of, because now we know for a fact if Eren's this way, there's more that we've been suspect of.
Don't you think, though, we would have seen more, not like actually seen the female Titan, or at least like it would have been like while they were in school or something, because they had never seen the Colossal or the Armored before.
I mean, there has been like 5 years since
that's true.
Since Shiganshina, so like maybe in their efforts of, because they said that they spent the 5 years building a path too from Tross to Shiganshina, and that all got fucked up when the second attack happened. So, because they said like, oh, all that work to retake that wall. So maybe in the time that they were doing that, they found out about it.
Yeah, it could very well be just putting me and Will as Erwin and Levi again. If me and Will were those two characters when it happened, and they came to the same conclusions we came to, they have an extra 4 years as opposed to us with a couple weeks. They have full 4 years to try to come up with better conspiracies. So when they're finally able to get their hands on Aaron, who now is like
living proof
piece, it makes sense why they have these plans in place that they're ready to finally go through with.
Yeah.
So but I still wonder, like, what if I'm convinced that they did the thing to Hanji's Titans. For now, I'm convinced that's the case. I'm just trying to figure out what that has to do.
Why did they do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see the purpose in killing those Titans. Like, what was the deal with that? Unless, I feel like that makes sense now. Maybe they went up to the Titans to see if they're, because now they know about Aaron. They went up to it to cut it open real quick, see, okay, is there any humans in these ones? And they either determined there was or wasn't, and then they kept it moving.
Okay.
Because that would make sense.
Just to help, like, that. But don't you think...
Well, why else would they go up and kill it? That's what I'm saying. That between now knowing that they want to open her up and see who's in the female Titan, and that they know that Aaron is someone who can control a Titan that looks normal, that doesn't look like those freakish Titans.
Yeah.
The only way to deduce if there's a human in any of the other ones is to check the regular Titans and check the new ones. And because they didn't know that information prior, they wouldn't have done it prior. Because so that's why they cut open those ones.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That would be my thought process in that.
Now I'm just so fixated on why they wanted the female Titan. If, like, this is the viewer's first time seeing it, and we've never seen it prior to the show.
They would have had to have run into it, I would assume.
One of my first presumptions was that they already knew about this thing. If they were going to trap it, they 100% have already known about this Titan.
I wonder, like, if I guess they'll answer in the next episode if they cut it open and we get any type of conversation with it or what's inside or dialogue between the two of them, that they'll say, 4 years ago or 5 years ago when we first started trying to retake Shiganshina or building the path to it, she was coming through and she would just cut down our men or whatever, or something, whatever. You would think other soldiers would have heard of it at that point, or maybe Erwin and Levi just went solo dolo and they found it on their own. I don't know. Okay,
now here's a fun idea. What happens if in the next episode they cut it open and there's nobody inside?
Which one?
The female Titan.
Okay.
I'm just thinking. Wait, what if the show just screws us and doesn't?
If that happened, then I'm completely lost. I don't even know. I don't know how it's so intelligent then, unless it's just a superhuman Titan being.
I picture it like a VR. There's people back at the Capitol who just strap on a thing over their head and just operate the Titans from a distance.
Sword Art Online.
Or Sword Art. Yeah, exactly. Guys, thank you for coming out and watching these Attack on Titan videos. If you enjoy it just as much as we do, make sure you hit these like buttons so that we know that you like it like us and you want to stay with us in the long journey. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so that you can do that, and hit the notification bell so you can be notified when these things get released. But for the time being, guys, we're going to call it a done day, and we'll punch it and see you in the next video. Bye!